Redmi Note 9 is the youngest sibling in the Redmi Note 9 series, and this phone has a number of exciting features, including a 48 megapixels main camera. Is the camera on this phone really worth it? We'll find that out in this video. If you are new on the channel, hit the subscribe button, press the bell icon, and if you like this video at some point, do hit the thumbs up button as well. On the Redmi Note 9, we get a main 48 megapixels camera sensor. I'm not sure if this is the same sensor as the Redmi Note 9S, but its specifications are exactly the same as the Redmi Note 9S's camera. The ultra-wide camera is an 8 megapixels shooter, while there is a 2 megapixels depth and 2 megapixels macro camera. Inside the front punch hole of this phone, we get a single 13 megapixel selfie camera. These sensors are using MediaTek Helio G85's image processing. The camera app of this phone is exactly the same as the Redmi Note 9S or the 9 Pro. It's got the normal photo mode with all the options including macro mode and the document scanner. The 48 megapixels mode won't let you use the HDR or the AI. We do have the night mode, panorama, and a very advanced pro mode with the lens selection and raw capture. We do get the video pro mode too. This phone can shoot 1080p at 30 frames per second from its rear camera and also from the front camera. It can also do 1080p at 30 fps using the ultra-wide camera. Furthermore, we have the short video mode and the slow motion with 240 frames per second support. I have taken a number of images in different lighting conditions on this handset. Let's check them out. Starting off with the high-res 48 megapixels images. This image is well saturated and sharp enough but lacks a good dynamic range. The moment we switch to the normal image taken in the 12 megapixels mode, we find the dynamic range getting better. I am liking the saturation, which is keeping the skin tone good. In the portrait mode, we lose details, but the background blur is good enough, and the ultra-wide mode goes completely off the grid as it does not have good sharpness and not very good colors either. Here is your look at the ultra-wide versus the portrait versus the normal 12 megapixels versus the full resolution 48 megapixels image, and you can see the difference clearly. The 12 megapixel image has the best colors and the dynamic range, with the 48 megapixels image being on the detailed side. Here is your look at more 48 megapixels and their normal counterparts. Among all these images, you will find a few things common. I have talked in my previous camera reviews about the edge detection of these handsets getting better. In a price tag as low as under $190, this is probably the best edge detection you can get. 48 megapixels mode or the normal photo mode depends on what kind of images you want to capture. I would suggest using 48 megapixels mode to capture landscapes in order to have a bigger image and more room to edit, and to capture the close objects, go with the normal photo mode. Obviously, the normal mode will lack the details, but it will also give you the advantage of using HDR and AI, which will bring a better color composition. And this does not work in the 48 megapixels mode as I talked earlier. Some of the images taken on the Redmi Note 9 look like flagship grade images. There is no doubt that this camera has the ability to surprise you given the best possible photography situations and depending on what kind of photographer you are. When I am looking at these photos, I am consistently keeping in view the price tag of this phone, which amuses me about its camera result. The only thing that I have disliked so far is its ultra-wide camera, and the ultra-wide cameras on low-end and mid-range phones are very horrible right now. In the indoor images, I found that the colors were not very great. I missed a little bit of saturation here. The images were on the warmer side. The colors should have been slightly more deep. The images just look fine here. Not very sharp, not very detailed, and not very cool. In the non-night mode versus the night mode images, I found a little bit of noise on the images, but the night mode greatly improves the look and the feel of the low light images. The mode is going to be useful in extraordinarily low light conditions. Unfortunately, you cannot do anything about the noise over these images. The macro camera also works pretty great. If you are a fan of macro photography, you are going to love it for sure. In the selfies, the beautification can be seen on the top. The selfies lack details, but the portrait mode selfies show a complete lack of details. Portrait mode selfies do not have a very good edge detection either. Skin tone is not very natural. For the filtered selfie users, these may be very good, but for those who like natural results, these are not going to be up to the mark. This phone definitely does not have the optical image stabilization, and I am not sure about the EIS. Both the normal and the ultrawide videos can be shot in 1080p at 30 frames per second, and here is your look at the result. To shoot stable videos, you may use a gimbal. Take a look at the front camera video now. And guys, this is the front camera video recording from the Redmi Note 9. This phone has a 13 megapixel sensor on the front, but I'm not sure which sensor is this, and the camera result is right here in front of you. I will let you guys be the judge for this one. Do tell me how are you finding this phone's mic recording quality and other aspects of this video. Let me just show you around now. And this brings us to the conclusion of this camera review. I like the saturation of this camera, the details are fine in the high-res images, dynamic range is exactly what it should have been for this kind of a phone. Ultra-wide camera is not good enough and you won't find a good ultra-wide camera on any phone of this league. The video mode is not very versatile, but the phone does have a very advanced pro mode for the pro photographers. Redmi Note 9, unless a better phone comes out, is going to be your best pick in this price tag, and I absolutely recommend this phone. Of course, this phone is not going to be your camera machine only, it has a lot of other features which make it worth it. Share your thoughts about this phone's camera in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. With that said, I will sign off and see you in the next video.